Honourable Senators, I rise today to pay tribute to all those who have served in our armed forces, many of whom deployed around the world never to return home, while countless more returned home carrying with them the traumas of war. I often think of my father, Private Lockie McKinnon from Grand Myra, Cape Breton, and his experience of serving during World War II, where he was deployed and fought in Holland and Italy at the age of 19. As children, my father never spoke to us about the horrors of war. Instead, he spoke to us about the things that he saw or did, like Canadian troops going to the Vatican for Mass said by the Pope, or being on leave in Edinburgh and going into a pub where he randomly met his cousin, who was also from Grand Myra. My brother, Commander Charlie McKinnon, also served in the Canadian Armed Forces. I've told this story before, but I remember the time as a member of the Canada-NATO Parliamentary Association, I traveled to Kabul, Afghanistan, at the same time that my brother was stationed there. During Veterans Week and Remembrance Day, my father and brother are never far from my thoughts. I know that all of us here today have had family or close friends who have served or continue to serve. This year, Canada marks the 75th anniversary of United Nations peacekeeping efforts. Over those 75 years, Canadian military service personnel, as well as members of our Royal Canadian Mounted Police Forces, have been deployed to countries in turmoil all over the globe on multinational peace operations, defending democracy and standing up for security around the world. As conflict around the world is on the rise and hitting closer to home every day, on this Remembrance Day, we honour the 125,000 military members who served and continue to serve on peace missions and those Canadians who were killed while deployed. Many others returned home with physical and psychological traumas. Yesterday, we marked Indigenous Veterans Day to honour the estimated 12,000 First Nations, Métis, and Inuit soldiers who served alongside our allies, and we remember the nearly 500 who lost their lives defending our freedoms. As Senator Francis so poignantly expressed yesterday, these soldiers not only returned home with physical and psychological injuries, but also faced social injustices and continued policies of cultural discrimination. We must continue to do better to recognize the contributions of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit to Canada's armed forces. Honourable Senators, it is important for all Canadians to take a moment this week to reflect on the contributions of our armed forces and to remember all those who answered the call, defending our democracy and protecting the vulnerable around the world. Thank you.